So we've already talked a lot about significant figures, why they're important, what they are, how we could figure out how many significant figures are in a given number. But in science, we do a lot of math, whether we take our data and convert it to useful results. It could be adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. But by keeping track of significant figures, this can help scientists show their results without making them seem more precise or less precise than they actually are after doing the math. I know a lot of students always ask me, how many places should I round my answer to? And the answer should be the proper amount of significant figures. So we'll be going through and looking at different rules that are used when finding significant figures after you're adding or subtracting, or after you're multiplying or dividing. So we will be going into, first we're going to start with adding and subtracting. And for this, we are going to round to the fewest places after our decimal. So we'll be doing a couple examples, and then you can practice some on your own as well. So if I was adding, let's say I had 5 and I was adding it to 5.51, and I was adding that to 5.5137, I would just add them straight down. Carry the 1, and that would be 16. But again, if we look at this, and I presented my data like this, this would look way too precise given I had a measurement of just 5 as one of them. So when we're adding or subtracting, remember, go round to the fewest places after the decimal, which would be using this number, because that has the fewest places after the decimal. So we would round to that spot right there. So in this case, we would have our answer of 16. So we'll do another example with addition. So if I had numbers such as 6.20, 17.146, and 11.2539, and I was adding all these together. Again, adding is easy, you just go straight down. 9, 6 plus 3 is 9, 4 plus 5, 9, 2 plus 1 plus 2, 5, 6 plus 7 plus 1 would be 4, carry the 1 over here. So it'd be 34.5999. But again, I got to use the precision of my least precise number. So it would be right here. I would go down and I'd have to round to the nearest hundredth right there. So if I round to the nearest hundredth, this 59 would turn into a 60. So my answer would be 34.60. And it's important that I put this 0 here because I want to have significant figures all the way to my 100th spot. All right, so that is how we keep the correct amount of significant figures when adding or subtracting. When we multiply or divide, it's slightly different. So when multiplying or dividing, we are going to round the answer to the same amount of sig figs as the measurement with the fewest sig figs. So we'll do a few examples of this one as well. So if I wanted to multiply two numbers, two measurements I got, let's say 723 and 21, I have to calculate the amount of the significant figures in each one of those. So this one, 723, that's 3 significant figures. 21, 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this directly in my calculator, and then I have to round it to an answer where there is 2 significant figures, because that is my my measurement with my least amount of significant figures. So I put it in a calculator, and I get an answer of 15,183. So if I only want 2 significant figures, I have to round it at this number right here. So because it's a 1 right here, I would round down. So the answer would be 15,000. All right, so we'll do a few more similar to this. Again, if I have my measurement 723 and a measurement of 20, 20 only has 1 significant figure, because this 0 is just a placeholder. So that's 1 significant figure. 723 again is 3 significant figures. So we are going to round it now to 1 significant figure, which might not seem very precise, but that just means the tool we used to measure right here that got 20 wasn't a very precise tool. So if I did this, I would have gotten 14,460, but again, 1 significant figure, so I have to round it to there. So again, 4, because I have a 4 here, I round down, so it would be 10,000 would be my answer. Alright, so I know these ones could be a little tricky, so we got 2 more examples. We'll do another multiplication example, and then we'll do a division example. So again, I'm going to pick 723, and this time we're going to measure that 20 with a tool that is more precise, which will allow us to have a more precise answer when we're done multiplying. So again, 3 sig figs here for 723. For this one, remember, if it's after the decimal, that is a significant figure now. So this one has 3 significant figures. So we are going to round it to the nearest 3 significant figures. So again, this would be 14,460. And 3 significant figures would take me right here. And that 6 would make me round up. So my answer would be 14,500. All right, so now we'll try a division example. So if I had a couple numbers, let's say I had 125.52, and I was dividing it by 25.0. I got to figure out how many sig figs are in each of those. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sig figs. This one has 1, 2, 3 sig figs. So I will round my answer to the nearest 3 sig figs. So again, I'll just stick this directly into the calculator. I will get an answer of 5.0208. And if I want to round it to 3 significant figures, I would have to stop right here. So I would round down. So my answer would be 5.02.